Welcome everyone, as always, to our event. My co-host of today's event is Monica Bivas. Everyone knows you. Monica Bivas is our fertility coach and mentor. Monica is based in New York, the US. And my name is Arina Rogozina, and I'm a business development manager of Fertty International, an assisted reproduction clinic based in Barcelona, Spain. So it's our third joint event, and you can see the other two on our social media channels, both Fertty International and Monica's ones. And the topic we are going to discuss today is 10 things to know when you are going through IVF. Undoubtedly, there are many more, but today we want to highlight some of them. Right, Monica?
Correct, already so many. But like you say, we need to highlight the ones that, we can consider the most important ones.
Exactly. And we want also to approach this talk from both points of view, advice from the expert in emotional support, and a couple of tips to be considered from an assisted reproduction center point of view. So let me start with some explanation. We know that for women or couples experience troubles to conceive, going through fertility treatment can be totally full-time job. And every IVF treatment has several stages, and sometimes we need more than one cycle, to reach the desired outcome. So. And this fertility journey, as much as we want it to be relaxed and simple and successful, it impacts our life emotionally, it impacts our lives physically, and it impacts our lives financially.
Totally.
So today we want to share with you our experience and our knowledges with hopes of making your fertility journey easier. So Monica, I give you the floor. You have a long involvement with this subject, both from the patient point of view after having undergone 5, if I'm not wrong, IVF cycles.
Yes, correct.
And from the professional position, guiding and empowering other women and couples during their fertility journey. So Monica, if you want to start and share with us from the emotional point of view, what are the triggers that an IVF cycle can bring to everyone who takes the path to motherhood or parenthood?
Yes, well, like you mentioned in the beginning, like 2 seconds ago, the IVF cycles are by themselves something that put more stress in our lives from the one that we already have. So, our job, if we are already parents of a child, so we have that. If we are not, just the fact that we are trying to and get there. So you said in the beginning, I am that part of the emotional. So the emotional part is like I'm the link between the patient emotional side and the physical side that is the clinic. So, and I myself went, as you mentioned, through 5 cycles of IVF. Most of you already know my story. And it's really something that adds more stress to our lives. So the purpose of all our webinars and the purpose of me being that part of coaching the emotional side of it is to make it a little bit easier. You say in the beginning, it's not going to be completely easy because it has impacts financially, physically, emotional, mentally, and also in our relationship with others. Either if we are choosing to be single moms, or either if we have a partner, or either if it is a same-sex couple, it's even more stressful for same-sex couples, call it women, men. So the idea is to have some tools that can help us walk this journey in a little bit easier way. That's basically it. I don't know if you have any questions more to the topic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I have this questions about what would be a good start to prepare yourself for this medical process, and how can you increase the chance of a positive outcome?
Perfect. So the first thing to know is if we're going to start a cycle of IVF, or if anyone, women, couples are going to start a cycle of IVF, is because they already like took the decision, or they are looking into some clinics like Fertty to start the process. So here is where I come with the 10 tips or 10 things that we should know to make it easier and to put ourselves into a place that we can help that physical and clinical balance with the emotional to get a positive outcome. Remember, it's always possibilities, and as you mentioned in the beginning, it could take more than one cycle. So all of this is going to be for either one cycle that is going to be successful, or multiple cycles, or second infertility. So the first thing is, like I will always say, we humans don't need to health in general. So for any kind of process that we're going to start, and especially a fertility treatment, I will say, let's start to evaluate our healthy eating habits. No matter if we are, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, omnivores, but then look into what we are doing, because, as we start a process, we want our physical body be healthy. So we can start to eliminate some kind of foods that bring toxins, because in that way we are preparing our body to receive. So one of the recommendations that I do in this, and to go fast, is fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables, and if we can do it organic, the best. So let's start to increment our intake of that healthy foods and replace them from, with the unhealthy that we are taking. Like, for example, if there is people that eat meat, animal protein, let's choose lean proteins. The lean protein is fish and poultry, like white meats, fish, chicken, because red meat has a lot of acid and uric things, and that contrasts with our fertility. I'm not saying stop to eat that, but during the process, change a little bit your habits. Once you have your positive outcome, you can go back to whatever your habit is. Eating whole grains, adding legumes, healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, nuts if you are not allergic to it, and avoid definitely sugars, processed foods, red meat, pork, and also cut a little bit on salt, because salt in excess, is not good for the pressure, our high pressure, plus also have retain liquids. Then another tip is start to clean our household from all the, we use cleaners, Clorox, all of this, but it has been, in research that all the chemicals also can affect our fertility. So today, when we are more aware about the environment, about, our earth and the life that we are living, the contamination, so we can also go. And today is very easy to find these household cleaners that they are free of parabens, free of chemicals in any supermarket.
So toxic free.
Yes, toxic free during that process. And you know that you in the clinic know that when you're going to start an IVF process, the ideal thing is, before starting, do a 90 days cleanse. So you start like a 3-month cleanse of changing your habits, household that I'm telling you, and then your body is really prepared to enter into that process. The other thing is making sure that we keep a record of every medical appointment. Why? Because that's one of the stresses that we have when we go through IVF. I used to take in little papers, what is my, and then all the papers got lost. So you can have a journal yourself, I have the book, the IVF Planner, where it has already the charts. So keeping record of our medical chart, because this is one of the most stressful parts in our cycle. We want to know the numbers, we are waiting to the doctor to call us, and we depend on this, because each case is different. Each couple has a protocol. And if you're going to go, for example, or if you are in your second or third cycle, and you have already journaling about your other ones, then you also have an idea on how this cycle could be better and could make it better. Another thing, and this is number 4, get good sleep. When we are entering into any treatment, fertility treatment, or even if we are sick and we need to recover, sleep is a big part of bringing to our body health. So when we are going to enter into, especially women, because I'm in vitro, no matter if it is male factor, women is the one that get, the most intense of medicine, cycles, all of that. So good sleep, at least between 6 to 8 hours sleep.
6 to 8 hours. Yeah, you are right that the male factor is also really important. But it's true that women have to deal with most of the medical procedures in IVF, no? But it also affects, obviously, men. And it sometimes it's ignored. So.
Oh, no, yes, it's so true. The other day I was talking with a couple friend of us, and they want to have children, and they're looking into that possibilities without even knowing if they have an issue. So one of the things I was telling him is like, because he said it's most women. No, it's not most women. Men also needs to take care about how he eats, if he smoke, because all of that affect the sperm. The fact that they don't get the injections and the hormones and the blood test doesn't mean that they don't need to take the same steps and the same 10 things that I'm saying here. The woman can be super healthy, have amazing eggs, she is regular in her cycles, but if her partner or if her donor is a person that is not taking care of himself, it's not going to be successful. So in this one, it's the same balance. So both of them, they need to have healthy eating habits, sleep, avoid household. Also another technique, this is number 5, drink plenty of water. More than Gatorade or more than electrolyte water, just, you have your filter, drink a lot of water, because being the need of being, our body needs to be hydrated. And when we, it's most of made of water. So in that way, if we are going through an IVF, medicine put our hormones as women a little bit more crazy. We have more headache, more stress. So when we drink water, that can avoid, for example, headaches, nausea, and also balance that common symptoms that we have during an IVF cycle. Then another technique is practice breathing. Breathing is nothing to do with the meditation, but learn to breathe, because the breathing helps us to control our heart rate and, to slow down. When we learn how to breathe, to slow down, it helps to balance our physical body. With the breathing techniques, of course, comes the meditation, read some self-help books, do art practices, art therapy, coloring, because then we are using our mind to put it busy in something that is helping us to run away a little bit from the stress of that. And this is combined into keep your mind occupied. If you have something to do it. If you have to clean your clothes, if you maybe went into something that, okay, let me change your room, because it's all helping to keep the mind occupied. Another important thing, socialize. We close our doors. When we go through in vitro, we are scared that people is going to know, because we think we are defective. We think that we are the only ones that are going through that. And I understand that a lot of women need to run a little bit away, or to put certain boundaries with other women that are getting pregnant or baby showers or something. That is okay. Putting boundaries to avoid what is causing you some kind of emotional distress and pain, do. But that doesn't mean that you need to close all the doors. There is people that are there, friends that will know that you are going through that, and they are not going to talk about that. So you need to have a little group of people that can be a support. Because I tell you, I was alone. I didn't want to talk to no one. I didn't want to say anything to no one. And then if a friend they didn't know. So a friend will say, oh, I'm pregnant. Boom, that was a trigger, So we need to have a little bit of group of people, family, friends that know what we are going through and can be support. Now, if there is, as you mentioned in the beginning, the financial impact is very hard, but in some countries in the world, you can find out if the insurance cover or if there is granted things for IVF. And then if you can afford and you are with your partner, try to have a weekend away, go to a date, have a movie night, maybe go 1 or 2 days to a lake, a place that you can also help your mind to be distracted. And definitely another, that's the last one that I always recommend is watch something that make you laugh. So watch comedies, have a selection of movies that you can watch, because especially during the 2-week wait, which is something that we will talk in the future in another webinar, we have a lot of stress. So we need to do our best to ease that process. And why I say we, because in the end, we are the ones that have the choice to be stressful or to be, sad or happy. And then we are also the ones that choose to make changes in our life, in our emotions, in our physical. And I tell you myself from my own experience, I choose to be in hell in the first process. And even though it was successful, it was a hell of a time. It was hell for me. It was like I didn't want nobody to see me pregnant, because you start to run your head with such negative things. So we need to learn how to shift them, not to eliminate them, Arina, because we need to allow also that feelings to be felt. If you need to rant, if you need to rant, if you need to curse, if you need to write, let them out, allow them, but don't get stuck with them. So basically, like in short things, that was the main advice. Many more, but that's the one.
I'm pretty sure, and I'm totally agree with you that you need to share, and you need to make your friends and your family know everything about you, but also allow them to participate in this process, and stop when you need them, stop, and ask them to remind them maybe that you're the same person, even if you are struggling with this problem, or just starting with this process. You're the same sort of person, so they can send you the same jokes, or they can send you, ask for their opinion about shoes they want to buy. Just be sure that you can ask for the support. Ask for the support for your family, for your partner, if you're with a partner, for your friends, or there are a lot of emotional support groups, or just go to the professional like you, to ask for the help. Ask for the much more. I'm a friend of many people who are undergoing this process, but sometimes, you are not allowed, or you don't have these tools to help, or to suggest in the contrary situation what they need. So this is why it's so important, the professional support you give. In this case, I find everything really, really correct and interesting and helpful. So Monica, thank you very much for such interesting information and your advices.
No, always here for you guys.
Well, from my side, as an expert working for an assisted reproduction center, I want to share with you some tips, a few tips that I hope can help you in some way to find the best team to guide you through this sometimes intimidating path.
Yes.
So, as you were saying, Monica, everyone do your homework before choosing a clinic. So it's essential to research fertility clinic before diving in the process. It would help if you considered aspects like country's legal situation, the standard of quality, training and experience of the specialist, obviously success rates, price quality relationship you were talking about, among others, no? So,
correct.
Another essential aspect for me to take into account when you're picking the clinic is how the clinic supports patients throughout the process. So
it's very important, that part.
Exactly. So you may be spending much time in this place. So you should be comfortable with the team, because somehow this team will become a part of your family.
That's so right.
And you may need really personalized care. The IVF process can be very stressful or confusing or both, So, but you should be sure and actually feel it that you are not alone. You need a more personal connection with the team. So this is why, in our case, Monica, we offer this care model, one patient, one team, where we offer the
Personalized
patient.
service.
Exactly.
I love that.
And another thing you were mentioning, and I also want to recommend that, it's about some guarantees, financial support. So look into money back guarantees.
Yes.
Some fertility clinic offer refunding programs. Of course, the admission criteria to met by patient.
Yes.
Exactly. And the condition of the program vary from clinic to clinic. But in our case, we do offer money back program guarantee where we guarantee live birth.
Yes, I love that policy of yours, guys. Not every clinic has it, if I may say something. And you mentioned something very important. Not all the clinics have that little chip that is missing, which calls sensitivity. When we start a process like this, there is two main things. It's very sensible, and we have something that calls hope. I love the fact that Fertty has a personalized team for each patient, and they have that security that you offer. It's a must. Not every clinic offers that.
Yeah. Actually, I was about to mention this, and I was saying it last but not least. Emotional support is really essential when we are dealing with infertility or we are undergoing IVF treatment. All those events may turn to be hugely stressful. So look for clinics that not only offer this emotional support as an optional service, but clinics where the support is integrated in their philosophy, and everyday practice. So this is maybe that you should have into consideration when you are searching for the fertility center. And yes, it can be a long distance run, right? With no 100% guarantee, but it's very important to not lose hope and ask for help.
Absolutely, and you mentioned something. It's never 100% secure, even when we are trying to conceive naturally. It's it's very like I don't know. There is a percentage even when it's trying to conceive naturally. And you mentioned something in the beginning very important, Arina, which is like the treatment itself. When we end up with a pregnancy, we are not sick. Pregnancy is not sickness. Either if you are doing it trying to be naturally or if you are doing it through IVF. It's just simple a process to bring life, And the fact that we get pregnant or we are through a process, we must realize that it's difficult, but don't put in our minds that we are sick or we are defective, because it's something that happens. I was there. And I definitely agree with you that the medical team also needs to be unique and personalized to the patient. I love that about Fertty. You guys offer that service, and even in distance. I'm here in New York, and people, should know about that service that you offer through distance too.
Yeah, sure. It's an international patients clinic, so obviously we offer everything on site in our clinic, and we offer our patients the possibility to start everything or prepare you before with our experts all over the world. So sure. I invite you, everyone, if you're interested, to contact us, and we will give you as much information as we can or as you need. So feel free, and hope to meet you soon at our next event.
Yes.
And that's it, Monica, from my side. Thank you very much again. It was, as always, a pleasure to talk to you. A really interesting conversation. And I wish you all a very lovely day.
The same here. You guys know that Fertty and me, we are working as partnership. So if you have any questions, you can just comment below the video in our pages. Arina, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. We always go into the point very straight, and people already have all the information. Everyone, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Goodbye.